welcome to episode of DashPod. It's our first episode, so meet our guest, a director and a professor and a teacher of Islamic Institute of Banking and Finance, a CBN certified from Nigeria. A very warm welcome to Professor Binta Tijjani Jibril. Assalamu alaikum. How's your health, ma'am?
Alhamdulillah.
I really feel honored to have you in my podcast. And a very warm welcome to all of my Pakistani members and students of Islamic banking and another department of the field. Thank you so much, ma'am.
MashaAllah, I'm honored to be here. I'm highly delighted.
Thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
enjoying every second of my stay in Pakistan. Thank you.
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to a question about what challenges you faced in Islamic banking and finance.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, especially in Nigeria at the beginning, when Islamic banking and finance was being introduced, the major challenge was ignorance. People are not aware of what Islamic finance is. Even though about 60% of the people in Nigeria are Muslims, there's still lack of awareness, as to the workings of the system. Additional challenge is that there was resistance from the remaining 40% that were non-Muslims.
And Muslims,
okay, because Nigeria is a federation, and we have both Muslims and non-Muslims.
Yes, ma'am.
And the non-Muslims were crying out that, okay, these people are going to Islamize Nigeria. And it was quite challenging. But Alhamdulillah, the central bank governor at that time was very creative, very proactive, and he was able to find loopholes within the regulations, within the constitutional provisions that made it possible for Islamic finance to be introduced.
Ma'am, the topic about Islamic banking and finance, this is a very important topic for the Islamic students as well as.
Yes.
So how can you balance of current banking and Islamic banking? So how would you balance between both of them? The current banking and Islamic banking.
The conventional banking, you mean?
Yes.
It depends on the regulation of the country. What I know historically, for example, in this country, in Pakistan, when the issue started, the government decided that 100% it was going to operate Islamic banking system. But it didn't work out well. So Nigeria as well as Pakistan currently are operating what we call a dual banking system.
Dual banking system.
Yes. Conventional banks and financial institutions operate side by side the Islamic financial institutions. And sometimes the conventional banks also offer windows, Islamic windows.
Islamic windows, yes.
So it depends on the way the regulations are designed. The constitutional provisions, the regulatory authorities and guidelines, especially by the central bank of the country. So that makes it possible to run it either in a dual fashion or as a single special system on its own, standalone.
Ma'am, as you have remarkable achievements in Islamic banking and finance, and you are a director of Institute of International Islamic Banking and Finance, ma'am, what inspired you in that field that you would to be choose Islamic banking and finance?
I was just talking to a group of students some time ago. My major is economics, actually. I studied economics, BSc, MSc, and at PhD level. But I picked research interest in Islamic finance because of its relevance. You see, whether we like it or not, we are all players in the field of finance.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Either as people working in the area, or as people dealing one way or another, as clients, as customers, as people who spend money, who invest.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we are all players. We all have roles in finance. And I believe that this is one area that especially Muslims have neglected, and part of the reason why we are backward. So we all need to up our game as far as the knowledge of Islamic finance is concerned.
Ma'am, the journey of Islamic banking and finance, how quite is harder, or how you can tackle the situation and you face the situation of Islamic banking.
Yeah.
Because all over the around globally,
Yeah.
the world doesn't aware about Islamic
Yeah.
banking and finance.
Yeah.
So how would you tackle and how would you aware the students?
Education, 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 education.
Education.
That is what we need to do. And you see, for my university, the authorities were very proactive.
Proactive.
As soon as the wind of Islamic finance started blowing in Nigeria, my university set up the Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance
nice,
to
nice.
provide, and it collected academics and sent them to study Islamic finance
Yes,
in
nice.
Malaysia and other places
Malaysia,
to gain the
yes.
knowledge and then return
Exactly.
and set up the institute. And the institute is doing a lot of work in terms of providing capacity building workshops,
Yes, ma'am.
in terms of training, in terms of consultancy, all right,
Yes, ma'am.
through the banks and to other financial institutions. That is where we need to go. And a lot of collaboration also between institutions.
Institutions.
Yes, to bring awareness,
To bring
sensitize
awareness.
people.
Yes.
That is
Ma'am,
where
as
we
you are a
should go.
speaker
Yeah.
in USA, in UK, in Kenya,
Yeah.
and I think it's really honored you come to the Pakistan.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, have you faced challenges in this situation
Yeah.
while you speaking and while you awareness to the students?
I'm a teacher. I love talking to students,
Oh.
and I usually don't find any challenges doing that.
Oh.
Yeah. But the challenge could be, you know, when you are talking to people who do not have first-hand information, then it is new, and you have to always take it from the scratch.
Oh.
You know, that can be very
easy.
challenging.
Very challenging.
But in Pakistan, where at least people have basic knowledge of Islam, so it's very smooth.
It's very smooth.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, the Islamic countries knows all about the Islamic
Something.
finance.
They
Yes.
know something about. They
Yes.
have some background.
Some background.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it can relate with
Yeah.
you. Yeah. It's very positive sign for us.
Exactly.
So, ma'am, how would you explain the cryptocurrency in Islamic banking and finance?
Yeah.
Does it halal or haram? How would you see that?
Well, cryptocurrency, we cannot say is completely haram.
Oh.
We cannot say it is haram.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
You know, whenever you are making assertion as to whether something is halal or haram, you need to be very careful.
Yes.
And
it's very sensitive for us. Yes.
This is the process.
This is the process.
Look at it. Does it contain any of the forbidden elements? And what are these forbidden elements? As far as finance is concerned, the first is interest.
Interest.
The second is gharar, that is uncertainty, extreme uncertainty.
Yes, ma'am.
The third is maisir,
Oh.
okay?
Yes.
Game of chance, okay? And the fourth is dealing with something that is haram. Any good service that is haram.
Dealing
So
with
you-
something.
Yeah, for example, if there's alcohol, if there is pork, you know.
That is prohibited.
So you look at whatever instrument, such as cryptocurrency or any other financial instrument, look at it. Does it contain any of this? One of the most important issues that is being looked at as far as cryptocurrency is concerned is the gharar, the uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it so extreme as to make it haram? These are some of the things that people look at. It's very difficult to give blanket fatwa.
Because, ma'am,
that this
I
is
think
haram.
yes, sir. Because, ma'am, the cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I thought that technology is very far now.
Yes. You can see how fintech is going now. Yes.
So everyone should know about cryptocurrency.
Yes.
And through Islamic banking and finance, we
Yes.
can make clear minds
Yes.
about cryptocurrency.
Yes.
And you should very well answer
I
about
think
that.
the ulama are doing a lot in that area.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Ma'am, can you share some success stories of your students who are in Islamic banking and finance?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, the students of the International Banking and Finance Institute of Bayero University, Kano, are now in managerial positions in almost all the banking institutions in Nigeria. Some of them are managers, branch managers, HR, they are in the risk management unit, and so on and so forth.
Oh.
And we are really proud. Wherever we go, some of them are in our central bank, some of them are in the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Oh, mashallah.
So, alhamdulillah.
Mashallah,
Yeah,
mashallah. That is your dedication of Islamic banking and finance.
Alhamdulillah.
And I hope so every student should go forward
Alhamdulillah.
in this field.
Yes.
It's a very good field.
Yes.
Ma'am, as a you are a trainer and a teacher and a director of Islamic banking and
Yes.
finance. So, ma'am, what experience in consulting of various financial institutions? What would you like to individuals, organization to integrate Islamic finance? How would you see the significance of Islamic banking and finance?
Yeah.
What are the significance?
Its significance is that, first of all, as Muslims, it is a fulfillment of the religion. Yes.
That is very important.
Yeah, it is, because Islam is a deen, it is a way of life. It is more than a religion, all right? So you cannot practice salah, fasting, and then leave your financial transactions, you know, unattended to. It is a complete way of life. So if you are a Muslim, you are fulfilling the requirements of the religion. And for non-Muslims, again, it is ethical financing. You know, it is ethical. And
exactly.
I also always say that it is good business. It is very profitable.
It's very profitable.
It's
yes.
very,
yes,
very profitable.
Yes, exactly.
And it is ethical. So people are keen into it to enjoy these fruits. That is why even non-Muslims now are you know, struggling to key into Islamic finance.
Ma'am, there are two aspects in banking and finance, that is Mudarba and Musharaka.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how would you see and how can you tell the story of Mudarba and Musharaka in Islamic banking?
These are partnerships.
As a partnerships.
Yeah. Mudaraba basically means a partnership between someone who has capital, owner of capital, the mudarib, and somebody who has skills, but may not have capital.
Exactly.
So they come together and form a venture and share the profit that may result from such a venture. Musharaka, on the other hand, is also a classic partnership. You have money, I have money, we bring together and we establish a venture and we share the profits. Yes.
Ma'am,
I am an advocate of Mudaraba because I see a lot of value in it, especially in our countries where, you know, the inequality is very high. A lot of young people are unemployed, yet there are a lot of high net worth individuals, very rich individuals.
Very rich individuals.
So I see value in bringing the two together. Okay, the rich people with money to invest,
yes, ma'am,
and the young people with skills and energy,
yes,
and health. You know, if they can come together and form Mudaraba based on the Islamic system, it will be a win-win situation. Yeah.
Ma'am, basically there are three types of accounts: current account, saving account, fixed deposit account.
Yeah.
Ma'am, in Islamic banking, I don't think so. Fixed deposit or saving account is good. It is halal or haram? What would you see about it?
No, savings account is okay.
It's okay.
You can save your money in a savings account. No problem.
No problem.
Banks provide Sharia compliant structures for this. Yes. You know, the most important thing is compliance with the Sharia.
Compliance with the Sharia.
And if the banks can structure it such that it complies, no problem. Deposit account, in the sense that it earns interest, is what is forbidden.
It is interest.
So it is called investment account.
Investment account.
Investment account. So that the structure is such that if you keep your money in an investment account, the bank invests it on your behalf.
Yes,
it earns profit.
Ma'am, but we didn't aware.
Yeah. There's this lack of awareness. That is the major problem. And that is why education is key. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can invest.
And I think so, ma'am.
And you see, when you put your money in an investment account,
yes, ma'am,
Mudaraba takes place.
Mudaraba takes place, exactly.
You are the owner of the capital, and the bank is the
shareholder,
and it's the mudarib.
Yes.
The person with skill.
The person with the skill.
You know, so it does whatever it does with the money to earn profit and then give you a part of the profit.
If we can't know that our money it is good way and in a bad way, it is halal or haram, how would you say that it is halal profit or is haram profit? Because we didn't aware. How can bank investment in different organizations or in different business, whether its business is halal or haram? But we can't aware.
Simple. You see, what is, as the Prophet ﷺ says, what is haram is clear and what is halal is also very clear.
Very clear.
All right?
Yeah.
But as far as business transactions are concerned, the default is that everything is halal.
Oh.
That is the default.
That is the default.
That is the default. So what makes it haram? The presence of these 4 forbidden elements that I have mentioned. So if you want to find out whether anything in your business transaction is halal or haram,
we can
check whether there is riba, check whether there is gharar, maisir, or...
We should clear our minds here.
Yes. Filter.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right?
Ma'am,
Yes.
it's really, I feel that through our podcast, we can clear those minds who say that Islamic banking and finance have different problems in that, and we can't choose that field. So I think so you have cleared the minds of those students, and I'm sure that it's definitely when our podcast is on air, many of the students should follow your education. Inshallah. Ma'am, as a member of the Capacity Building Committee of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, how important is continuous education and training in the banking industry, particularly in the context of Islamic banking?
It is very important because finance is very dynamic. It is evolving by the day. You know, Islamic finance is also very, very dynamic. New things are coming in, new challenges, new developments every day. Fintech is becoming very, very big, you know. So capacity building is key. We need to be updated. We need to be up to date.
Up to date.
Yes, you know. Yes, and the players, the educators, all need to build their capacities by the day.
Ma'am, the social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Fiverr accounts.
Yes.
How would you see it is halal or haram?
They are halal.
Halal.
These are neutral vehicles.
Okay.
It depends on what you do with them. It's just like your car.
Okay.
It can take you to a halal place or take you to haram place. So it's your choice, isn't it? So social media is a neutral platform.
It's a neutral platform.
So it depends on what you do with it. That is my take.
The owner of Fiverr and the owner of YouTube and the owner of a social media platform, different platforms.
Yeah.
I thought and I read somewhere that there is a part of Israel in that. So how would you see that the profit we can generate, the clients we can handle, these are the part of Israel.
Yeah.
So the money is from the Israel. So how would you say that it is halal or haram?
Let us bring our own options, our own platforms as Muslims, and that is why we need to be educated.
Okay.
We need young people like you to go into these things,
exactly,
all right? So that we can be rest assured 100% that this is Islamic, and the profit is going to an Islamic organization. But meanwhile, if that does not happen, we have to keep patronizing what is available, because otherwise we'll be left behind. We are already behind.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
All right? So we need to catch up.
Ma'am, in Pakistan, how would you say that how we can manage the Islamic banking and finance in Pakistan? And what are the strategies we can follow in Islamic banking and finance for the Pakistan? How would you say that?
Islamic finance is doing well in Pakistan. I think about more than 22 institutions currently.
Yes.
And Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy that government is supporting the development, which is not quite the same in my country. I actually
and you feel very lack about that. The government didn't help.
Exactly. Not as much. I wouldn't say that it is not helping, but it's not as much as in Pakistan. So I see a bright future for Islamic finance in Pakistan, and the location of Pakistan also surrounded by hubs of Islamic finance, I think facilitates this. And very soon, inshallah,
inshallah,
will be,
so. Ma'am, lastly, we wind up the podcast. So lastly, I'm saying that any of your statements you have to tell to the students, or you tell to someone else. Any of your statements, you can. Your camera is on the way. Okay.
My final statement is that, like I said within the discussion, we are all players in finance.
Okay.
And Islamic finance is the trend now.
It's a trend.
And therefore, whatever you are studying, whether it is medicine, pharmacy, economics, history, languages, learn something about finance, learn something about Islamic finance. You need it.
I think so, ma'am. Economics, finance, and banking is the key and a backbone.
Yeah, it is.
Of
But
the
Islamic
situation.
finance is multidisciplinary.
Multidisciplinary.
You need Islamic studies and Sharia. You need some economics. You need some finance. You need some computer, even media.
Even media.
Even
Yes,
media.
exactly.
You need everything. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, and I'm really feel honored to have you in my show.
I'm
And
honored
I
to
hope
be with
so.
you.
Those minds are very clear now,
Yeah.
who have different problems in Islamic banking and finance.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Really
Thank
feel
you
honored.
so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.